Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking with Sherida Brimhall, and she's the sister of Dr. Brett Brimhall, who you may have seen me shoot some videos with before. I just love her story. She comes from this famous family, this holistic background, rebelled a little bit in the sense of, sometimes she didn't want to do what dad said. And then, she adopted her nephew and he's got his story and she's got her story. And I love what activation has done for her life and her son's life. And the story is just really awesome. So I wanted to jump on here today and introduce you to Sherida and have you learn a little bit more about her. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you want to tell people a little bit about your background? Massage, whatever.
Yeah. So I come from a family, like you said, we very in the space of holistic healing, holistic healthcare. My dad's been in the chiropractic wellness care for over 50 years, and I'm approaching 30 years working from craniosacral to massage therapy. And then my brother as well. We grew up working in my dad's office, and he's been a chiropractor probably a little over 25 years now. So we kind of grown up in that space. I didn't always appreciate or love the things that my dad was like telling me to do, right? But as you get older, you learn and you grow and you just figure out like, okay, where am I? Like where do I stand? What do I want to implement? Like he comes from this lifestyle of doing anything and everything to help his patients. Like he's formulated over 200 natural products. So when I was little, like we didn't have sugar in the house. I didn't think not taking vitamins was something you could do. Like we just, as soon as we could swallow, we were taking vitamins pretty much. And we've just always grown up in that space, grinding our own wheat, like just very unique from what some people grew up. And so I am so grateful now for the things that I saw my mom and dad do and sacrifice to have a healthier lifestyle. And so even like, I mean, there's times where I ate and like I was a soda drinker, like avid soda drinker for a long time, and I knew it wasn't good for me, but it was kind of like what I leaned on and what I what I loved and enjoyed. And so it's like as you get older, it's like okay, like what do I want to do? How do I want to eat? How do I want to live? Like how do I want to work out? What do I want to take? And so you just become kind of you take what you like from your parents or your lifestyle growing up, and then you say, okay, as an adult, like what do I want to implement and what do I want to keep doing? So.
Yeah. Um, and so your brother got involved with this company.
Yep.
Where were you at that time when he got involved?
So I had my nephew at the time, but I don't think that I had adopted him yet. But I've had him since he was born, and he's just struggled with a lot of health stuff related to um, his development and birth, right? And so Brett was always looking for ways to help him. And so he had massive results. And two, like I was talking about, my family's very unique. So we have people that refer us patients from all over. So we had somebody that was referred to us from like across the country. And that's a little boy Brett was working with and just had massive shifts with him. And so Brett literally came to my house one night at 9 o'clock at night and it's like, hey, I think you need to take a look at this for your son. And I honestly didn't even ask any questions. I'm like, sure. And within 2 weeks, I noticed a difference. And so, but I was a very good customer for a long time, but I just barely, because of my story now adding on to my son's story, I really decided I'm like, I can't not share this. And that's why I think, Joe asked me to come on here and talk today is because we need this message to go out to more and more people because we've seen such massive shifts in people's lives. And so literally when Brett came to my house at 9 o'clock at night, that one night and like gave me a bag of product and I'm like, sure, I'll try it. I had no idea the significance of that or the magnitude that that would bring. Like that literally changed everything for my son.
So tell us, let's start with your story before
Mm-hmm.
we go deeper into his a little bit.
Okay.
What products did you start with?
So for me, I had a knee injury probably over 5 years ago now, and they're like, "You need like a full knee replacement." Well, I like didn't want to do that yet, and I was like, "Well," but I was literally limping out. So right, Dr. Brett and I are siblings, right? So teasing has always come with the territory. And he would like tease me as I was walking out of the office at night. He's like, come on, old lady. And he would take my bag and he would like help me to the car. And I was limping, like literally limping to the car at the end of the night. And I could not wait to get home And so I do massage. I couldn't wait to get home, throw the sheets and stuff in the laundry and just sit down. And if anybody knows me, that is just not me. Like I am just like I just go 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 go, and I always really have been just kind of full of energy. Like to just be active and be doing something. And so to be in a space where I literally physically could not do the things that I wanted to do, just like existing was hard. I lived in a home where like my bedroom and everything was upstairs. I mean, like once I went upstairs for the night, I was done. Like if I hadn't moved my sheets into the dryer, I'd have my son go put them in the dryer because I just didn't want to go back down the stairs because my knee hurt so bad. And so, giving a little bit of background on that. So Brett had told me, he's like, you need to try these products. And I went on something called the Tri-Synergizer. Um, and so I went on the Tri-Synergizer and the collagen, and you guys, I was hoping it would help a little bit. And the catalyst that took me to, like, I'm a single mom, budget was always a thing. So I was like, always, I was just trying to give my son what he needed before me. And he's like, you just need to try this for a few months and see. And I am so grateful he did, because I was taking Advil just to take the edge off so I could survive. But it was barely helping. But when I did some labs, my liver was really not happy with the amount of Advil I was taking. And so I knew I had to do something. And so I really was kind of found myself in this space where I didn't have another option, another healthy option, anyways. And I had tried all kinds of stem cells and cortisone shots and like all these things. And some of them helped a little bit, but nothing really helped enough. So felt like I was just heading to surgery. And so he had me try this. And so I was like, you guys, and now I'm like, do not try it, do it. Like it changed everything. Like I said, I'm 5 years past my knee injury now, and I am at the gym. I'm working out. Like I'm doing yoga again. I'm Pilates. I'm doing all these things that I didn't know if I could do, especially before I had like surgery or anything on it. So it changed everything for me. And one day I realized I'm not limping. Like I'm not limping at all, and I'm definitely not limping out to the car at the end of the night. And so it's made just this huge shift for me physically.
And so you've never had the surgery.
No,
That's awesome.
no, I do x-rays probably yearly just to check on it. It's still the same. Like it's kind of bone on bone in there. So like the fact that I'm doing everything I'm doing with my knee the way it is, like, I mean, it's just there. I mean, people are shocked that I haven't had to have a replacement yet. And so I'm hoping that everything I'm doing will just continue to put me in a space where I just either never have to do it, or if yeah, anyway, so we'll see what happens. But to not be in pain after being like, I work on people that are in pain. I never had daily pain until I did that.
So then, so Weston, let's talk about where he was at and then how that started to change. And then how did you introduce other products with him?
Yeah, for sure. So when, like I said, Brett came to my house one night, 9 o'clock at night, gave me a bag of product. It was a drink. Like it's a stick packs. I put it in a water bottle. I sent him off to school with it and just didn't really think anything of it. And this is a kid who struggled, you guys. He struggled with retaining information, recalling names. I'm like, hey, who'd you play with today at recess? And he's like, oh, this kid or what. He would not remember names. And he felt like people were picking on him because he didn't really understand social cues. He didn't retain things in class. He would get up and walk around. It's like the teacher's like, where are you going? He's like, I don't know. Like he just these everyday things, especially in a classroom setting, was tricky and difficult. And so they had held him back in kindergarten, and they were wanting to hold him back again. I'm like, and I sat down with the teacher and I said, I don't want to do that. I said, I'll do whatever, I'll work with him. I'll do whatever I need to do on my end, but I really don't want to hold him back again. And so she's like, okay, well, let's see. Like he needs to like improve here, here, and here, and we'll just see what happens. And so after he started taking this drink called Axio, a couple weeks later, he called me at school, which was not normal. And he's like, hey, I can't take my test. I need my Axio. And I was like, okay, like whatever. So I ran it up to the school, and he took it from me, and he went and sat down at his desk, which a couple things about this was shocking to me. Number one, he didn't, I mean, that was an open invitation for a distraction to like hang out by me and not go back and take his test, right? But then he went back and sat in his desk and took his test. You guys, this is a kid that he had special accommodations to take his tests in a small classroom with an aide because he would get distracted by the other students. And so I was like, I went to his teacher. I said, how long has he been doing that? And she's like, well, he asked me like, a couple weeks ago if he could do that. I'm like, so it had literally like within less than a week of him taking the Axio, this had happened. And so I was like, there's no way. Like it was almost too good to be true. And I was like, well, maybe. Like, I don't, so I called Brett and I'm like, okay, that drink you gave me, like, what does it do? So like I said, I didn't really ask any questions. Brett was always trying to figure out something to help him. And so then I started diving into what it does and how it helps the neural pathways and all these things. Right. And so I was very consistent giving him that. But still, I mean, it was years later before I ever tried any of the product, but I just was always focused on him and what I could help him with, right? Mom's always last. So when he did better in school, and he had never, after that day, he had never had special accommodations to take tests in another classroom or anything like that. So he is improving. He had friends, kind of a small group of friends, and just matured and grew, and they never talked about holding him back again. Well, when he was in high school, I'm like, you know what if, because I learned about this magic little yellow pill called Protandim NRF2. And I learned about what it does for the body, what it does for the brain, like all these different things. I'm like, well, what if he would take it, and what if it could help him? Right. And then I was like listening to something one day, and it's like, well, your gut's your second brain. I said, well, what if I could give him this probiotic? So if you like, the term activation is very new for a lot of people, but it activates your body's pathways to do what they should be doing. And so that's what this whole, like, the neural pathways for his brain, for the Axio, was activating his brain to work differently, to work like it should work. And so I'm like, well, maybe I could give him these things and it might help a little bit. And so I started him on the Protandim NRF2 and the ProBio. And you guys, so that was beginning of the school year. About halfway through that school year, he came home to me and he said, hey, I talked to the counselor today and she said I can graduate this year. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, let's go talk to her. I'm like, clearly he misunderstood her. There's like no way that I just didn't even think that was a possibility. And I went in and talked to her a couple times actually. And she's like, no, like, he's made up enough work. He's doing so well. He really, if he does X, Y, and Z and really puts his mind to it, he really could graduate this year. And he had talked to her, and I know it kind of bugged him that he was held back. And so he was really motivated to graduate when he should have graduated, and he did. So not only did he start his junior year as a junior, that became his senior year, so he graduated a year early, but he graduated with A's and B's. You know, the only difference, the only shift I made that year for him was taking those two products. And he was working, like, he was doing so many other things that should have been more distracting for him, but he excelled. And then if you would have seen this kid, which just is the cherry on top for sure, is walking down the hallway at school, like high-fiving people, saying hi to everybody, teachers, students. Like, he was the most popular kid in school. Like, the confidence that shift made in him was just, I mean, it was priceless. So good.
Yeah, I just love that. I love it, love it, love it. So, I mean, really, he took the Axio for how many years that kind of gave him like super focus?
Oh, for years. Let's see. So, probably like, I mean, 8 years ish before I introduced anything else. So don't wait.
Wow.
Don't wait that long. But I just didn't know. So, and for him, taking vitamins, anything he had to swallow, he was a pain in the rear end. He hated swallowing any kind of pill, any kind of vitamin. And so that was always a fight. And so I made a deal with him. I was like, okay, if you take this, like, I won't harass you about your diet. So I literally, like, kind of had to, like, almost bribe him. He's like, sure, I'll do that. And you guys, I did it because I was hoping it would help a little bit, just from what I had learned about what it was capable of, especially the Protandim NRF2. But what happened, I'm still blown away. Like, a kid that struggles, that they talked to me multiple times about holding him back, to going, fast forwarding to him graduating a year early, so basically on time. I mean, if you would have told me that when he was little, I would have never believed it. Just crazy, super cool.
That's just awesome. So, tell us about when you finally started taking the products. I
And
mean, you
like,
started with the
yeah.
Tri-Synergizer, you started with the collagen, liquid collagen, which was really that was the first two that I really hammered, like that I took a lot of. Like the collagen came out pretty quickly after I had started the Tri-Synergizer,
Mhm.
and so those became my big two at first as well. Um, but then more products come out. There's more activation happening.
Like I have not stopped and I will not stop ever. Like I love it. The more you guys, how you feel now is directly tied to how activated your body is, how activated your cells are. Like if, and I think about it all the time, you know, so trash day, right? Trash day comes, the trash man comes pick up the trash you put by the street. Like we're always collecting our body is trying to do its best with what it has. But if we don't give it the ability to actually clean and detox and to function properly, like it just makes everything so much harder. So when you understand cellular activation, it is such a game changer. And I've worked with patients, like I said, for decades. I started doing cranial work 30 years ago. And people need activation. Like I work on people and I kind of joke with them. I'm like, I should give you a discount because you're holding your massages so much better. Your body is like just responding differently because you're activated. So the more products that because understanding that simple activation component where when you take a vitamin, you're filling in a deficiency that your body has. But if you're activating your body, your cells potential to do what they need to do to work and function at their peak. And so it's totally a game changer. So as LifeVantage has brought out more and more products, I'm like, yes, please. Like there's one that boosts your immune system like 20 minutes after taking it. It's literally proven. We're publicly traded, like all the science in the world you could possibly want, but the stories never get old. Like my story and so many others. Every time they come out with a product, like they came out with P84, this gut support product. I love it. I think so much is in the gut. I was working on gut health before that came out, and that came out that just, I mean, it just helped everything that much more. And I've tried a lot of things over the years. Like I said, my dad's alone has formulated over 200 products, and we just have so many different products that we've used over the years. But if I have to choose one thing, it's number one, Protandim NRF2. And then I add, when I travel, there's a couple things I take. There's something called daily wellness and prebiotics. I take it every single time I travel. You get on a plane with all kinds of people that are sick or whatever, like recycled air. So like you do things that help your body to function optimally. And so I don't care, like whatever they came out with, I'm like, yes, please. I actually was a customer for a lot of years with my son. And 4 years ago, I decided to join as a consultant to do this as a business with people like Joe does, because I want more people sharing this because so many people, like I can only work on so many bodies on my table in a day. Like I actually only work 2 days a week, and so does Dr. Brett, because we literally spend so much time outside of those 2 days teaching and sharing with people. I'm constantly on the phone sharing my story with people, sharing Weston's story with people. There are so many people, especially that have children that are struggling, especially since there was some big pandemic years ago, right? People struggled socially, physically. There's so many different things. You saw a shift in a lot of kids that coming into our office. And so this gives us an option to help them to function optimally. And so anyways, it's just, I don't think there's any product that they haven't had any product that come out that I have not used. Like even they have a healthy skincare. I do hair analysis in the office. So we put so many things in our body and on our body that have toxins and chemicals and all kinds of things to them. So I can recommend that to people and know that they're getting a good solid product that number one is effective, it works, but it's clean. So it's not going to bombard your body with anything extra that it doesn't need. And so it's just a game changer. Like I literally will never stop using them, any of them. So depending on the person, right, I'll recommend certain things, but I've tried like everything that they have at this point.
Nice. Um, Thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for
Of
joining
course.
me and sharing this stuff. Is there anything else that you want to share? Otherwise, I was going to keep this a little shorter than before it gets too long.
That's great. I'm just like, you guys, if you have any questions at all, like we're an open book. I don't know if this is the first time seeing me, if you know Joe, but like we're an open book, and we really, really want people to have all the information so that they can make a decision. But if you're not activated, your life and your health can be so much better. So,
Thank you.
hey,
Appreciate it.
of course.